Hello everyone, today I wanted to bring a new video format that I personally like a lot and I hope you like it too. In this section we are going to analyze and talk about movies and I will bring it at least once a week. Since the new season of Cobra Kai came out recently, I think it would be good to remember its beginnings, so today, we will analyze and talk about the first movie in the Karate Kid saga. First, we see how Daniel and his mother move from New Jersey to Los Angeles, and as soon as they arrive at their new home, they invite him to the beach to drink with totally strangers. We started well. Upon entering his house, the faucet breaks. We continue well. His mother asks him to go find the maintenance man, and there he meets the man who will change his life. Mr. Miyagi. A Japanese man living in the United States, who likes three things: karate, drinking, and catching flies with chopsticks. Afterwards, he goes to the beach and meets two very important characters for the plot. Johnny Lawrence, who is a member of Cobra Kai, the best dojo in the area, and Ali, Johnny's ex-girlfriend, and Daniel's future girlfriend. At one point in the night, Johnny sees Ali and Daniel together, then Johnny gets mad and goes to face Daniel. Johnny and his friends beat Daniel like never before and leave. The next day, Daniel's mother forces him to take off the sunglasses he was wearing and sees the wound left to her pure son. In order not to make this longer, I am going to make a summary of the series. Daniel talks to Ali, then he goes to Cobra Kai's dojo to look, then the same people who hit him on the beach hit him again, but this time in a park, and pure Daniel flies off. He arrives at his house and throws his bicycle, to which Mr. Miyagi decides to fix it. The next day Miyagi and Daniel are gardening together after the boy asks Miyagi if he repaired the bike. One day later, Daniel has a costume party and dresses up as a shower. I think it's one of the weirdest costumes I've ever seen, so much so that it looks like the Monster Incorporated alarm clock. At that party she goes to the bathroom and guess who was there? Exactly, the Backstreet Boys. Just kidding, there were the Cobra Kai disguised as skeletons. Daniel gets frisky, not in the way you think, and hoses Johnny water. Bad decision. The Cobra Kai decide to chase him until they catch him, but at that moment, the savior appears, a being of light within the darkness, the one and only, Mr. Miyagi. Applause please. Miyagi saves Daniel from the Cobra Kai and decides to teach Daniel karate so that he can learn to defend himself from the boys who annoy him. Daniel and Miyagi go to Cobra Kai's dojo to talk to the sensei of the dojo and tell him what's going on, but since the sensei is he doesn't care, but they manage to reach an agreement, which one is between dojo students cannot be beaten until it is the All Valley Tournament, the area's karate tournament which Johnny has been winning for 2 years in a row. From that moment, Daniel began to learn karate with Mr. Miyagi, but not in a very common way, but doing housework, such as waxing the floor, painting the house, etc. But the day when Daniel gets tired of being Miyagi's slave, so he gets tired and leaves, but before he leaves, Miyagi tells him to apply what he has learned to defend himself from the blows. And there Daniel realizes that he was never Miyagi's slave, which he actually was, if not that he was learning karate indirectly. From that day on, he keeps learning and learning and learning karate, until we get to the long-awaited tournament. In between, many things happened, such as Mr. Miyagi getting drunk thinking about his late wife, rest in peace, it was Daniel's birthday, Ali hit Johnny, Daniel, and Ali fight but after 2 seconds they reconcile, etc. As I said before, the day of the tournament arrives and Daniel signs up to participate. The rounds go by, until he reaches the semi-final, in which Cobra Kai sensei tells the student who was fighting to break Daniel's leg, to which the student had to agree since he had no other option. Everything looked finished for Daniel, but Miyagi did magic with his hands and boom, Daniel was healed and with an automatic pass to the final since they disqualified the opponent who hurt his leg. The grand final begins, Johnny versus Daniel, the first easy point for Daniel. The second point was also easy for Daniel. Cobra Kai calls for time and Johnny's sensei tells him to hit Daniel's leg. And it does. After Johnny takes a point he wins the second by hitting Daniel very hard. When the last point of the tournament begins, Johnny hits Daniel on the leg too hard. Director, he must have been very hurt on the set. Daniel decides to continue and decides to perform the most mythical flying kick in cinema. Daniel wins with that kick and Johnny hands him the trophy. The movie ends with Miyagi staring at Daniel with a perverted face. Once the film has been summarized, I wanted to talk about the characters. First, it is seen how Daniel develops little by little, learning to overcome his fears. This is reflected in the same tournament, since in his first fight he was afraid, but little by little he was loosening up and gaining confidence to become the champion of the tournament and beat his enemy from the beginning of the film. And how curious, since right now I will talk about him. I consider Johnny to be a good antagonist, who shows us together with his friends how cruel and difficult it can be to adapt to a new and unknown place. I also don't think that he is a character as bad in the sense that he is evil. He is not a bad person, only that, being controlled by his sensei, who if he is a bad person, he has to adopt this more rude personality and aggressive. To finish with the characters, I couldn't let Mr. Miyagi pass. This charismatic man does not teach that problems can be overcome as long as you want to overcome them, and that with effort. It also teaches us that you can get ahead in life, since he himself lost his wife and daughter, and, although that event still hurts him, he has managed to stand his ground and make a life in the United States. Finally, I wanted to talk a bit about the movie itself. This film leaves us with values such as effort, perseverance, and that, never better said, we fight to assert ourselves and that no one passes over us. Before concluding, I wanted to leave you with a question: have you seen this movie before? If you liked the video and want to continue supporting this type of content, leave a like and subscribe. It takes you only 5 seconds and you help me infinitely. With that said, see you in the next video. Greetings and have a nice day.